Program Director, Chancellor Olaf Scholz, the Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, Mr. Grobler, the CEO of Sasol, Mr. Sipho Nkosi, the Chairperson of Sasol, ambassadors, ministers, and all the scientifically minded people, including Professor Resch, who just spoke now. As the good professor sat down, I complimented him by saying he's a real professor because he explained this whole process in the most simple of terms and enabling Mr. Sipho Nkosi, sitting next to me, who even as chairman, but not a scientist, could understand. And now he understands what a catalyst is, that it's a process through which you climb a mountain and you go through a tunnel. That is a catalyst. It's wonderful to be here. I've longed to visit Sasol over many years and still need to go to its various operations. But today we are launching an important collaboration between the Federal Republic of Germany and Sasol around the development of green technologies. The Catalyst Research for Sustainable CARE-O-SENE project focuses on the development of catalysts for green jet fuel. This is one of the several areas of cooperation between companies, universities, and government agencies on the technology that will, in the end, shape and reshape our economies. South Africa is determined to contribute to this effort, but in doing so, we couldn't have a better partner than Germany as we traverse this route. Sasol, together with the Industrial Development Corporation and the Northern Cape government, is developing a project in Boegoebaai to use our excellent solar and wind resources to export green hydrogen at a massive scale. We have Chancellor Scholz, by choice, chosen this economic path, the green hydrogen, to further develop our economic development. This includes the opportunity to supply green hydrogen to the European Union, which is looking to import 10 million tons a year by 2030. And this you have confirmed in a number of conversations we have had, particularly in relation to Germany's needs. The Boegoebaai project presents an excellent opportunity for South Africa, as well as Germany, to cooperate in the fields of green hydrogen, energy security, job creation, but also to contribute to a just transition and climate action. The long-standing cooperation between South Africa and Germany on climate issues will be further deepened through the Just Energy Transition Partnership between South Africa, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, the United States, and the European Union that was announced at COP26 late last year. Now, Sasol, a valued company in our corporate architecture in South Africa, is a major contributor to South Africa's emission reduction ambitions. The company has committed to a 30% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 and to achieving net zero by 2050. At the third South African Investment Conference in 2020, Sasol pledged over 5 billion rand to upgrade its operations in Secunda and to meet clean fuel to quality products. A just energy transition is a process that takes place over decades. Energy security must be ensured, but there should be equal emphasis on inclusive growth, job creation, as well as poverty reduction. We are grateful that this is one of the issues that was underscored in our discussions earlier today. The success of the transition rests on the development of new technologies and their deployment at scale, supported by green funding, grant mechanisms within a favorable regulatory and policy framework. The South African government is committed to continue to work with the German government to enable this. And as I said, in Germany we have a dependable, a reliable, and a consistent partner that we can work with. The development of the green hydrogen economy is a national economic priority for us. With the world's largest platinum reserves, the proposed hydrogen valley stretching from Limpopo, one of our provinces, to Gauteng, where we are, to KwaZulu-Natal on the eastern seaboard of our country, will position South Africa as a global center for green hydrogen production. It will also lead to the creation of new industries. It will also aid the decarbonization of sectors such as transport, manufacturing, construction, and create new jobs for our people in all these provinces. Now, as a country, we are determined that we should derive the full social and economic value of our mineral and other natural resources, which we have in great abundance. The National Hydrogen Society roadmap that was approved by our cabinet late last year will give added impetus to the task of building a sustainable and resilient economy. In conclusion, I want to congratulate Sasol once more for the bold steps that it is taking towards decarbonization, and these are bold steps that were not imagined in years gone past through the CARE-O-SENE and other projects. It is our wish that, strengthened by this partnership with Germany, Sasol will continue to blaze a trail of onward march towards a low-carbon, climate-resilient economy, as well as a sustainable and inclusive future. And with this, we are particularly pleased that we are here to talk about this in the presence of Chancellor Scholz, as his visit to South Africa further consolidates solid relationships between South Africa and Germany. And it behoves well for the future as we mutually support each other in the growth of our two economies. May this partnership continue to grow in strength, in technological cooperation, as well as in the sharing of knowledge for the advancement of the skills of our young people. With these words, I thank you, and thank you once again to Sasol. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much also for being a catalytic, for bringing catalytic change to the role we're seeing ourselves in South Africa, especially as we look into green hydrogen. but more importantly, for the emphasis that you equally have put on ensuring a just transition to the green energy world. Thank you so much. I now call on the Federal Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, Mr. Olaf Scholz, to say a few words. Chancellor Scholz, once you have delivered your address, could you please remain on the stage and you will then participate in the unveil. Thank you, Chancellor Scholz.
Mr. Kobler, Mr. President, I would like to thank you for inviting me to come to this impressive location indeed. South Africa is a modern industrialized nation and a high technology country. And you see this and feel this many places. A drive I took between Johannesburg and Pretoria that shows just how much progress has taken place in the last decades. And it is clear our common future can only succeed if we stop climate change, if we decarbonize our economies. This is a tremendous challenge, and that is tied to tremendous technological obstacles. And we must not forget that. 250 years of history, well, we look back at the use of fossil fuels. If we end this now, this is the biggest quantum leap technologically that we have taken in the past decades. We can only such projects, and we're willing to promote these together and to financially support them to the best of our possibilities. The research project that was introduced today with the beautiful name CARE-O-SENE impresses by its innovative and comprehensive approach, combining the challenges and opportunities of the chemicals industry and the aviation industry. As I hear, preliminary work is underway also when it comes to provide funding from Germany. Against the backdrop of what we're seeing today, I'm confident that we are going to be able to promote the transformation of industry together. You may very well know that we Germans like to travel. South Africa hosts many German tourists who like to enjoy the natural beauty and South Africa's hospitality. This is why it's a good idea to be able to travel without feeling bad by flying in a CO2 neutral fashion, and it is of utmost importance for all of us. The idea that for the foreseeable future, there will be a solution thanks to the scientists and engineers of Sasol and the University of Cape Town is a great perspective indeed, and I'm happy that we could be here together and participate in this development. I look forward to what we're going to see, and I am happy that we can gather here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I would now like to request Mr. Chancellor Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. Fleetwood, I'll ask that you say a few words, which will then lead us to the reveal in relation to the Model FT reactor that we have over there. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Program Director. So what we are about to unveil is a typical Fischer-Tropsch reactor in which the kerosene catalyst will be used to produce the sustainable products. And after the unveil, we will also hand out a memento, which is a mini scale of this reactor system for your own remembrance of this momentous event. So, Mr. President, Chancellor Scholz, please unveil the reactor. We will now hand over the token and then take some photos whilst we're standing here at the podium.
Wonderful, Your Excellencies. Thank you so much for unveiling the scale model FT reactor. And we will now proceed to hand over the commemorative gifts.